Good morning. We're in Exodus 13, 15. Exodus 13, 15. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all that openeth the matrix, being males, but all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And what he's doing is, right now at 15, he's saying that 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 he's telling, this is what you're supposed to say if somebody asks you, why do we keep these sacrifices? Why do we keep these traditions? What does this mean? And this is the instructions you're supposed to say to them when they ask. So that's the second time we've seen the word matrix here. It was in 13:12 and now in 13:15. Okay. 16. There, but hold on. There's the redeeming thing. Redeeming. Okay, redeeming is a big thing in the Bible. Yeah. I'm really thinking about taking the day off. Whew. No. Okay. It's 4th of July. Gotta stop talking so much on chat line. All right. And it shall be a token upon thine hand. Redeem. Okay. 16. And it shall be a token upon thine hand, and for frontlets between thine eyes, for by strength of hand the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt. "17. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines." Although that was near. For God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war and they return to Egypt. Okay. So he's not bringing them out where they're going to have problems right away. No, because he says they might turn back. 18. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up and Moses took carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord, 21, went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. "14. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel." We're in chapter 14 now. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel that they turn and encamp before Pihahiroth. No, Pihahiroth, between Migdol and the sea, over against Baalzephon. Before it shall ye encamp by the sea. 3. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land. The wilderness hath shut them. The wilderness has shut them down. And to me, that's almost an image of the devil having us, oh, we got him. Look, he's tripping on this, he's tripping on that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like like tigers, they'll go, and lions, they'll go hunt gazelle. They go for the weak one. Oh yeah, they're not going to go after the good one. They go after the weak one. So this is not my best day, y'all. But we're gonna keep going anyway. Okay, for they are entangled in the land, the wilderness hath shut them in. No. 4. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart that he shall follow after them, and I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. Verse 5. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants was turned against the people. And they said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. And he took 600 chariots and all the chariots of Egypt, and captains over every one of them. Eight. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with an high hand. With an high hand. Verse 9. But the Egyptians pursued after them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them, encamping by the sea, beside Pihahiroth, before Baal Zephon. Verse 10. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And they said unto Moses, Because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us? Wherefore hast thou dealt with us thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? So the people are saying, Good job, Moses. You brought us out. Now here we are, about to get whooped by these chariots and everything. Mm-hmm. They're literally saying, after they see the signs, after they see the plagues, they see the Passover, They still have doubt already. It's not, oh, let's fight. It's nothing like that. It's just straight negativity, which is pretty normal. Oh, we're not going to make it. Oh, you're not ready. Oh, this and that. I think that's what I needed to kindle this fire this morning, because mm. 12. Exodus 14:12. Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. And I just talked about that a couple of times in the last few days, how when they leave, they're going to be ungrateful. Mm-hmm. Okay. 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will shew to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, and ye shall see them go again no more forever. Exodus 14:14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. And to me, y'all, this is an image of, in the world today with the sin and all that. God is going to fight the battle for us. Yeah, it's in us, but we have to get out of the way. And understand God has a plan. It's not about us and our lives. in a complete sense, but it's part of it. But we can't see that. You know, and the Egyptians here. I mean, the Israelites. You gotta imagine. It does look very bleak for them. They were there. They had places to lay their head. They had food, access to food and water, stuff like that. But now they're just out on the lam. You know, so they really can't see where they're going. Although they have seen a lot, like us, we've seen a lot. We've seen about the Christ. We see a church on every corner. We hear about testimonies. We hear about things. We hear about preach facts. We hear about things, but at the same time, we can't really see where it's taking us. And that's when you got to realize that where are you taking you? You're just there in Egypt. You're not doing anything. You're just existing. You know, you have to understand God has a bigger purpose for things, and that's where we're going. So you got to listen to God's instructions and realize it's not all about what you think is supposed to be. Okay. Look at the Christ. He had to go to the cross. He didn't want to go. He said, Lord, please, if there's a way, take this cup from me. But if it is your will, let it be. The Lord didn't want to go to the cross, but he went because he knew that's what he was supposed to do. He said he could call down 10,000 leagues of angels to come save him right now. He said, nope, it's not the way it's supposed to go. So just because something's ideal or whatever, that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay. You shall hold your peace. 16. But lift thou up thy rod and stretch thine hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry land. Dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I behold, 17, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his host, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. 18. I will get me honor upon Pharaoh. Let's look over here. That's kind of interesting. 14, 17. And I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians so that they shall go in after them, and I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his host, his chariots, and his horsemen. 18. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord when I have forgotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen, upon his chariots. 18. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. Okay. 19. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, moved, removed, and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud went from before their face, and stood behind them. And it came to pass, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all night. Okay. So the Lord is in a pillar of cloud, and he's disorienting the Egyptians from having them run up during the night, and he's giving them light to the Egyptians. Um, Pretty phenomenal. And he's doing it in such a way that they stay separated. He's making it too dark so they don't want to move until daylight. And yeah, he's making it so dark that the Egyptians don't want to move until daylight. Interesting. 21. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. Well, this is the nail in the coffin. Same thing with the Christ. Okay, Jesus dies, he comes back and talks to people. Okay. This is why we have our religion today. Yeah, the Red Sea parted. Yeah, Jesus was resurrected. Some stuff, God's gonna lay it all out there sometimes. Yeah, you need a sign. Here you go. Here's a dead guy. I mean, sometimes you just have to say, you can't make stuff up. Who on earth would be stupid enough to make a story about a resurrected dead guy? It doesn't happen. Nobody's gonna believe that. Okay, but this is real. That's why God did it that way. Because if you have any sense, you'll see that no one's going to believe that story. But this is a real story with real eyewitnesses. Okay, end of story. Same thing with the Red Sea. Nobody's going to believe that. Well, guess what? He did it. End of story. That's why he did it that way, because nobody would believe that, and then you know it's God. That's the whole point of it being crazy. All right, now I'm not preaching this morning. I'm just reading. I'm just reading this morning. But don't sit here and tell God that he can't be God when he did very godlike things. Unbelievable, impossible things God did. So he's been reaching out. Hey, here I am, here I am, here I am. Oh, we don't want to believe it because, for one, we don't have a good reason. Number two, that means I have to be held accountable. Number three, it's easier just to say it's not true. That way I can not have to do what you say. Okay. Okay. And the children of Israel, 22, went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Okay. And the Egyptians pursued, 23. And went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. Okay. So God isn't just parting Red Seas, he's closing them up too at the appropriate time. This is another sign that God is all over the place. And you never know what he's going to do. You know how to be in his good favor. You know how to be on his side, but you don't know what he's going to do. But you know how to be on his good side. What more can you ask for? That's all we want to be on, is his good side. You don't know what he's going to do. You can't know. And I want to apologize for the energy in today's video. It's not a good video, but we want to make sure we're consistent. We're staying out here. We're staying out here. We're staying active. We're doing it, even if we're just reading. Okay? Even if we're just reading. "24. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians." Let's check up here on that. 25. Happy 4th of July, y'all. Okay. Clogging their chariot wheels. No, 24. And in the morning watch, the Lord in the pillar of fire and of cloud looked down on the Egyptian forces and threw the Egyptian forces into a panic, clogging their chariots. Wheels, so that they drove heavily. And the Egyptians said, Let us flee from before Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians. Okay, so they're realizing now that something's going on here. It's not normal. Our wheels are breaking off. I mean, our wheels are getting heavy. Something is not performing right. We're being supernaturally defeated. Let's go. Let's get out of here. We should have known that. Look at all this stuff. So they're saying, hey, something's going on. Let's get out of here. The chariots aren't performing. Something's going on that shouldn't be happening. But what do you expect when you roll through a Red Sea? You know, I mean, at some point you got to throw in the towel against God. But yeah, okay. But you can see that there's no stopping what God's going to do. He's going to open the Red Sea. He's going to disorient them by a cloud of fire in the darkness. He's going to keep it dark, so dark they don't want to move till day. He's going to slow down their wheels. You can't get around God. End of story. Okay. So you see many aspects that he's realizing, look, we're done. There's no way we're going to get advancement on Israel. There's no way. Well, you should have known that, you know? But they're doing this because Pharaoh is ordering it. God is in control of Pharaoh too. 26. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength when the morning appeared. And the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. So it's not like this stuff wasn't recorded. All it was after it happened, people started saying, "Oh, that's crazy," but it did happen. But you can see just by not being an eyewitness, it automatically you can have your doubt. But guess what? I mean, they were even having doubts leaving about Egypt. I mean, there's always going to be room for doubt, but this really happened. I guarantee it. I put my life on it. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the hosts of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. But there remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and upon their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians died upon the seashore. Okay, so while the walls are up, like I said, he's never done doing wild things. While they're in the sea, the Lord is controlling the waters to also stay apart and to attack the Egyptians. So, once again, not only is he parting Red Seas and holding them apart, he's also attacking and holding them apart at the same time. You can't get around this stuff. I try to tell you. Okay? You going against God would be like an ant trying to beat a gorilla. Or an ant trying to beat a T-Rex. It's just not going to happen. Okay? But unlike that gorilla and that T-Rex, God is going to see you and deal with you. Or, yeah, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So he's holding the waters apart, but at the same time, in certain areas, like where the Egyptians are, the waters are attacking the Egyptians, while at the same time keeping them apart. So it's not just and I never really thought about this, but yeah, it's multiple things. He's parting Red Seas. And this is God's character. And I recognize that when I see this. That he's doing multiple things within things. Within things. Okay. Okay, he's bringing them out. But he's making them come out. He's in full control of the situation. It's nothing to him. It's nothing to him. Now, as you're examining how God can do these multiple things within these things, you should be getting acquainted with the character of God and understanding how powerful he is. I can understand you part of Red Sea. Okay, but wow, you're parting it. You're holding it apart. Okay. You dried up the land because that's how technical you are. So that it's not all soggy and stuff. You cause enough wind to dry up on it so that it dries up. Okay. You're slowing down the chariot wheels. You're causing them to malfunction through whatever powers you have on that end. It's pretty wild. Okay. While you're holding the Red Sea apart and leading them by a pillar of cloud or fire, you're causing the Pharaoh to come in after you. Okay, even after they're saying, hey, we got to stop. Something's wrong. There's something going on here. The chariots are messing up. We know something's against us now. It's not, these aren't performing. I'm the leader of these chariots. I know how they work. Something's wrong. God is working here. Oh, let's push on. Okay. So while the waters are being held apart, and we would catch our wind right at the end here. That's okay. While the chariots are malfunctioning, they're pulling up, pursuing, and the waters are being held apart in one area. In another area, they're attacking the Egyptians. So God is most involved in ways that you never could imagine. I mean, what's next? I mean, you can't. This is a character of God that you need to recognize, that you could never pin him down on what he'll do. Okay? Tornadoes, earthquakes, Red Seas parting, you never know what God can do or will do. That's like a tornado reaching out a hand and pimp slapping you. You never know what God can do or will do. He'll do anything. It just doesn't happen. But it happened. So I'm glad we read this chapter, because I don't remember there being this many details. All I remember is, okay, the Red Sea was parted. They pulled through. I thought the Egyptian had left up out of there before it closed. No, they were still in there. They were still in there while the Egyptians got sloshed. They were still in there. They were still in the Red Sea while the Egyptians got beat. It's not like they got out and then the Red Sea closed, if I'm not mistaken. So God is showing ultimate grace right here. It's not, oh, hurry up and get through so we can shut down the Egyptians. No, it's, y'all are okay. We got you. Even though y'all are still in here in the sea, we're not going to close it all up at one time. We're going to close up parts of it. Who would have thought that would happen? Unbelievable. And at this point, your faith should be going, whoo, because you can't make this stuff up. No. And when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to stuff like the cross and the resurrected, you should be saying to yourself, okay, nobody would ever make up a story about a resurrected dude because no one would believe that. That should be a blaring red sign that God is being God is going over the top to show you, and hopefully you'll see that. Hopefully you'll see that he's over the top by reason that you'll have your common sense to say, well, maybe it did happen, because nobody would be that stupid to make up a story like that. Because nobody would believe it. God did that for a reason, so you say, okay, it's so radical, it's so crazy, it must be true. Yeah, it's true, because nobody would say that. They didn't say it, it happened. Period. It happened. It's another line of reasoning. All right. Same thing in the Red Sea. Let's just go all the way over the top and just, we're controlling the waters. We're controlling the forces that be on the chariot wheels. We're controlling the mind of Pharaoh. We're controlling so many things. But guess what? After all this, we're not done. After all this, they still came out and were ungrateful. Now, I'm sure he's controlling them too, to a certain extent, maybe. He's controlling everything. Okay. 29. But the 29. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord 30 saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. 31. And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses. Okay, so we're on YouTube at Preach Facts. We're on TikTok at Preach Facts 7. And I just want to throw one thing out there. You want to talk about a greater miracle than this? A greater miracle than the Red Sea parting is your existence. You are floating on a ball through space, or a disc, whatever you want to call it. All the celestial bodies in the sun, I don't know if you're floating or stationary, but we're here. And somehow, some way, the wind is blowing out here right now. Everything is happening in a way that you're okay. That is a greater miracle than a Red Sea parting, by any means. How about the fact that water exists? How about the fact that you exist? How about the fact that God is real and you're real? How about that miracle? Oh, let's not talk about that. No. It's not real. It's supposed to be that way. That's just how we are. That's just it. No, the greater miracle is the fact, and the wind's picking up now. The greater miracle is the fact that God called everything into existence and said, "Let there be light." That's the greater miracle. Why didn't you acknowledge that? Where'd that go? Okay. Oh, that's right. It's not a miracle. That's just supposed to be, right? Where else do you see that in the universe? Where else do you see that? Where else do you see anything like that? Oh, well, I didn't think of that. Oh, no, you don't. All right. Have a good day.